Prime Minister Narendra Modi announces centralized vaccine drive. All vaccines will be procured by Government of India and given to states for free. 25% of vaccination work with states will now be handled by the centre, will be implemented in the coming 2 weeks. Both state and centre to work as per the new guidelines. Free vaccine for people above 18 years of age from the 21st of June. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana gets extension till Deepawali. Dr. Harshvardhan chairs the 28th Group of Ministers meeting on COVID-19 situation in the country. Dr. Harshvardhan informs that with the addition of 18 new labs, the country now has a total of 28 labs for genome sequencing. Says mucormycosis cases among COVID-19 patients being tracked closely. As COVID cases decline, states ease restrictions from today. Delhi allows opening of markets and malls on odd-even basis. On metro is running at 50% capacity. And also in Maharashtra, Haryana, restrictions are eased. Both private and public offices to function at 100% staff in Gujarat. COVID-19 cases continue to decline. India reports 1 lakh daily new cases in the last 24 hours, the lowest in 61 days. Daily recoveries continue to outnumber daily new cases for the 25th consecutive day. Recovery rate increases to 93.94%. 23 crore 27 lakh vaccine doses administered so far. Covaxin trials on children developed by Bharat Biotech and ICMR begin at AIIMS, New Delhi from today. The vaccine trial on children is already underway in Patna AIIMS. At least 21 people are killed in a massive explosion in central Yemen. The Prime Minister there, Ma'in Abdul Malik Saeed, blames Houthi rebels for this explosion. Earlier, a total of 16 people had lost their lives in an attack by Houthi rebels on Saturday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu makes the going tough for opposition coalition that bids to oust him from power, claiming that the alliance is the greatest election fraud in the history of democracy. But the PM-designate Naftali Bennett asks him not to leave a scorched earth behind and accept the people's will. In the French Open, Bopana and Skugor to play the men's doubles quarterfinal today. In the men's singles, Novak Djokovic to face Musetti and Rafael Nadal to meet Jack Sinner in the pre-quarterfinals. Namaskar and welcome to the news. My name is Mark Lynn. Let's begin with this story. The Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan chaired the 28th Group of Ministers meeting on COVID-19 today. The meeting reviewed steps on sustaining positive momentum in the fight against COVID-19 while being vigilant and ramping up health infrastructure to be prepared for any potential challenge. The GOM meeting was attended by Union Ministers Hardeep Singh Puri, Dr. S. Jaishankar, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Ashwini Kumar Chaubey, Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityanand Rai. The Health Minister noted that active COVID-19 cases in the country have been falling steadily over the past few weeks.
83% of our active cases are in 10 states and the remaining 17% are in 26 states and UTs. 7 states, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, Gujarat, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand, they have less than 1,000 cases. 5 states, Jammu, Kashmir, Punjab, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, UP, they have less than 2,000 cases. And even the most affected states like Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, there also we can see that there is a decline in the number of cases at a significant rate.
Dr. Harshvardhan also said that mucormycosis cases among COVID-19 patients are being tracked closely. He said that the country has so far reported 28,252 cases of mucormycosis, and the minister said that the maximum number of such cases have been reported from Maharashtra, followed by Gujarat.
mucormycosis, which is something which has been in the discussion for quite some time now. We have from 28 states some 28,252 cases till now, and out of this 86%, that is 24,370 cases, are having a history of COVID. 62.3% cases, that's about 17,601, are having history of diabetes. We have the maximum number of cases from Maharashtra. This is about 6,329, followed by Gujarat 5,486, and then of course MP, UP, Rajasthan, Haryana, Karnataka, Delhi and Andhra Pradesh.
He also informed that with the addition of 18 new labs, the country now has a total of 28 labs for genome sequencing.
We had established 10 national labs for the INSACOG, this sequencing facility. Now, till now we have done some 30,000 sequencing, and recently we have added 18 more new labs to this national consortium. So now we have a total of 28 labs doing this genome sequencing.
Many states are easing COVID-induced restrictions from today. However, partial lockdown will continue. Relaxations have been made, keeping the economy in mind. The national capital, Delhi, as per the new relaxations, all malls, markets and market complexes, except weekly markets, remain open between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. on an odd-even basis from today. Now, all standalone shops, neighborhood shops and shops in residential complexes are permitted to open on all days without any distinction of essential and non-essential goods and services. Delhi Metro services also began operations with 50% seating capacity since this morning, and as per the new guidelines, private offices are allowed to function with 50% of their staff between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Group A staff of the government offices have been allowed to function with 100% and Group B with 50% of their staff. Now, the Delhi Police Commissioner, S.N. Srivastav, cautioned people. He said that unlock may have taken place, but the public should exercise caution. People must remember that the impact of COVID-19 has gone down, but the disease is still out there, and that the government has removed the barricades just to ease traffic movement.
अनलॉक जरूर शुरू हो गया है, लेकिन हर एक को सावधानी रखने की ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि बीमारी कम हुई है, बीमारी ख़त्म नहीं हुई है। तो जो भी इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी हो रही है वो हो, लेकिन बड़े सावधानी के साथ। जहाँ तक दिल्ली पुलिस का सवाल है, आपने देखा है कि यातायात में कोई अवधान ना हो, तो हमने बैरिकेड्स को एक साइड में कर लिया ताकि यातायात चल सके। हमने जो शॉपकीपर्स है उन पे भी जिम्मेवारी डाली है, जो मार्केट वेलफेयर एसोसिएशन है उन पे भी जिम्मेवारी डाली है कि वे भी सोशल डिस्टेंस का ध्यान रखें।
Phased unlock process in Delhi has begun with shops and stores opening on odd-even basis and offices resuming operations as well. Meghna Dev put this into context, talking to people.
Shops and stores have been given permission to operate from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. on odd and even basis in New Delhi. Even apparel stores, clothing stores are open today. So we'll just have a quick word with Gaurav, who is the store manager here at one of the stores. Gaurav, what kind of instructions have been given and how are you complying to the guidelines and instructions given?
Authorities has given us information that only the odd days, the odd date numbers and the odd shop numbers are open. In the even dates, even shop numbers will be open. So we are opening today, tomorrow it's closed.
जैसे हम लोग 10 आदमी हैं तो उसमें से 3-4 आदमी आया है, आज ही खुला है ऑफिस। आज भी पहले सुबह का टाइम सैनिटाइजर हुआ तब जाकर ऑफिस खुला।
मैम लॉकडाउन तो आज खुला है, बट हमारा गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर है, हमारे यहाँ लॉकडाउन से पहले भी खुला हुआ था। मतलब 50% हमारे यहाँ स्टाफ अलाउड था।
जब मार्केट खुलेगा तो लोग परचेज करेंगे और ऑब्वियसली रिटेल होलसेल सब कुछ प्रॉपर चेन में आ जाएगा। अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा खुले कि जिससे कि लोग की रश ज़्यादा ना हो।
Delhi metro services have also resumed from today. I am at the Rajiv Chowk metro station and this is the entry point here which has been designated. There is one entry point and two exit points that have been designated at the Rajiv Chowk metro station. Though the number of commuters is quite sparse, but all guidelines and all precautions have been put in place.
जिसके पास मास्क नहीं है उसको मास्क देने के लिए रखे हुए हैं। ये पट्टी टूट जाती है, खराब हो जाता है तो उसको मास्क दे देंगे नया। तो लाउड हेलर है समझाने के लिए, जब भीड़ होती है तो भीड़ को बताने के लिए लाउड हेलर रखा हुआ है। और कोई पानी पीना चाहे ठंडा पानी भी रखा है।
तो क्या अभी भी आज सुबह से कैसा, आज से शुरू हुआ है तो आज सुबह से कैसी भीड़ है?
तो कम है भीड़, कम लोग जा रहे हैं, अभी तक खाली है। शाम के टाइम यहाँ से जाने वालों की ज़्यादा होती है।
All the precautions have been put in place for the commuters, and though the number of commuters today has been a bit sparse than it is generally there, but still all the guidelines and the step one of unlock in Delhi has begun. So the onus is now on the people that how much precautions they take when they venture out of their homes. With camera person Ajay and my colleague Saurabh, this is Meghna Dev, DD News, New Delhi.
In Maharashtra, a detailed 5-level plan to unlock the state came into force this morning, providing relief to residents and traders in areas where COVID-19 cases have dipped considerably. In 11 cities and districts there, which have a positivity rate of less than 5% and oxygen bed occupancy of less than 25%, they can open up completely. Malls, theatres, shops, all have resumed normal operations in these areas. Restaurants, economic and recreational activities, including gyms and saloons, were allowed to operate. They are allowed to operate. Their public transport services will also remain functional.
सब लोग मेरे ख्याल से फॉलो करेंगे अगर व्हाटएवर जो भी गवर्नमेंट अगर बोल रही है, तो आई थिंक हम लोग फाइट कर पाएंगे। लेकिन अगर हम लोग क्रिटिसाइज करते रहेंगे या वो करते रहेंगे तो वो तो एक नेगेटिविटी है। एज ए सिटीजन हमको उनको सपोर्ट करना चाहिए।
इतना भी सरकार ने हमको सपोर्ट किया, इतना भी खोलने के लिए मौका दिया, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। ग्राहक आएंगे नहीं आएंगे, दुकानें खुल गई तो ग्राहक आ ही जाएंगे।
इसको अभी लेना हो तो आके जाएंगे भी ग्राहक। तो थोड़ी तकलीफ तो रहेगी, 1 महीना, कम से कम 1 महीना तकलीफ रहेगी। 1 महीने बाद ही मालूम पड़ेगा पूरा खुलने के बाद।
In the wake of a significant decline in COVID-19 cases in Gujarat, all private and government offices are allowed to function with 100% staff from today. All shops have been allowed in 36 different areas of the state to open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, the ongoing night curfew across the state has been extended till June 11. Now, India has reported the lowest new daily COVID-19 cases in the last 61 days. The country has registered 1 lakh new cases in the last 24 hours, and the number of cases is less than 2 lakh for 11 consecutive days now. India's active caseload dropped to 14 lakh 1,609 today, and India's daily recoveries, they now continue to outnumber daily new cases. This is for the 25th consecutive day, and there has been a steady incline also in the national recovery rate. The country's recovery rate increased to 93.94%. The weekly positivity rate currently stands at 6.21%. The daily positivity rate is 6.34%, less than 10% for 14 consecutive days. As many as 2,427 people have died of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours in the country. India has crossed a major landmark with the administration of more than 23 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine. This is to beneficiaries thus far, and the Union Health Ministry confirmed that 23 crore 27 lakh 86,482 beneficiaries have been vaccinated so far, of which 18 crore 65 lakh 14,773 beneficiaries were given the first dose, and 4 crore 62 lakh 71,709 the second dose. The Union Health Ministry has informed that over 13 lakh 90,916 vaccine doses were given in the country in the last 24 hours, and of these 13 lakh 11,000 were vaccinated for the first time, and around 80,000 received their second dose. we're talking about the last 24 hours. Now, the government of India has been supporting the efforts of states and union territories under the whole of government approach to ensure the smooth and effective vaccination drive, and this has been happening since the 16th of January this year. The Union Ministry of Health has written to the states and union territories to include the Unique Disability Identification UDID card as a photo ID while registering on the CoWIN 2.0. So as per the guidance note for CoWIN 2.0 issued on the 2nd of March 2021, 7 prescribed photo IDs were specified and prescribed for verification of beneficiaries prior to their vaccination. In the letter written to the states and union territories, the Health Ministry has stated that the UDID card issued to persons with disability by Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, has all the necessary features such as name, year of birth, gender and photograph of the person, and meets the criteria for use of identification in COVID-19 vaccination. Therefore, with a view to further facilitate access to vaccination for persons with disability, it has been decided to include the UDID in the list of prescribed photo ID documents for COVID-19 vaccination. Necessary provisions for the same are being made and would be available in CoWIN shortly. The screening of children for clinical trials of Covaxin developed by Bharat Biotech and ICMR is on in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi, days after similar trials had commenced also in AIIMS in Patna. The phase 2 and 3 trials, they are being conducted on children aged between 2 and 18 years of age. The center had given its clearance to the clinical trials on May 13. The clinical trials of the COVID-19 vaccine made by Bharat Biotech are to ascertain whether they are suitable for children in this age group, that is 2 to 18 years of age. The vaccine trials on children are ongoing, as we said, in Patna, AIIMS.
अभी जो है ये क्लिनिकल ट्रायल शुरू हुआ है क्योंकि बच्चों के लिए हमारे पास सेफ्टी का कोई डेटा नहीं था, इम्यूनोजेनिसिटी का डेटा नहीं था, साइड इफेक्ट्स क्या होंगे इसका कोई डेटा नहीं था। तो ये जो ट्रायल्स हो रहे हैं वो बच्चों में इसी को देखने के लिए वैक्सीन सेफ है कि नहीं, वैक्सीन इफेक्टिव है कि नहीं, ये देखने के लिए ये ट्रायल्स हो रहे हैं। अभी जो है 12 से 18 साल के बच्चे इसमें सम्मिलित हो रहे हैं। ट्रायल जो है पूरे 6 to 9 मंथ का है ट्रायल कंप्लीट डेटा जनरेट करने में, क्योंकि सिर्फ सेफ्टी ही नहीं देखना होता है, इम्यूनोजेनिसिटी भी देखनी होती है। 2 डोज का शेड्यूल है, 2 डोज लगने के बाद जो है जो इम्यूनोजेनिसिटी आएगी उस पर फिर कोई निर्णय लिया जा सकता है।
We have no way out of COVID. एक ही रास्ता है, वो तो है वैक्सीन लगवाना। Eventually, end of the day, अभी नहीं तो अगले 2 साल में all of India has to get vaccinated if we want to move ahead in our lives. That's the only way out we have. We can't keep living at home. We have to get back out.
I would be probably the first one to get a vaccine in my age group. So it's a good thing and I am proud कि मैं trials में जा रही हूँ, मुझे जल्दी से vaccine लग जाएगी. I will be vaccinated and I will be safe.
Returning to our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation today, and the Prime Minister began by paying homage to all those who lost their lives because of the pandemic. The Prime Minister said that the world has been experiencing a once-in-a-century pandemic.
दुनिया के अनेक देशों की तरह भारत भी इस लड़ाई के दौरान बहुत बड़ी पीड़ा से गुजरा है। हम में से कई लोगों ने अपने परिजनों को, अपने परिचितों को खोया है। ऐसे सभी परिवारों के साथ मेरी पूरी संवेदनाएं हैं। साथियों, बीते 100 वर्षों में आई ये सबसे बड़ी महामारी है, त्रासदी है। इस तरह की महामारी आधुनिक विश्व ने न देखी थी न अनुभव की थी। इतनी बड़ी वैश्विक महामारी से हमारा देश कई मोर्चों पर एक साथ लड़ा है।
Prime Minister also announced that the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana will be extended till Diwali. He announced that all vaccines will be procured by the Government of India and will be given to the states free. The Prime Minister said that work on a war footing was done to meet the growing demand for oxygen.
कोविड अस्पताल बनाने से लेकर आईसीयू बेड्स की संख्या बढ़ानी हो, भारत में वेंटिलेटर बनाने से लेकर टेस्टिंग लैब्स का एक बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क तैयार करना हो, कोविड से लड़ने के लिए बीते 1.25 साल में ही देश में एक नया हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार किया गया है। भारत के इतिहास में कभी भी इतनी मात्रा में मेडिकल ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत कभी भी महसूस नहीं की गई। इस जरूरत को पूरा करने के लिए युद्ध स्तर पर काम किया गया। सरकार के सभी तंत्र लगे, ऑक्सीजन रेल चलाई गई, एयरफोर्स के विमानों को लगाया गया, नौसेना को लगाया गया। बहुत ही कम समय में लिक्विड मेडिकल ऑक्सीजन के प्रोडक्शन में 10 गुना से ज्यादा बढ़ाया गया।
The Union Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh, virtually addressed the United Nations General Assembly's special session on corruption. The minister spelled out India's policy, zero tolerance towards corruption.
India has a zero tolerance policy towards corruption. The motto of the government of India under Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is minimum government, maximum governance, with emphasis on transparency and citizen centricity. With the aim of decentralizing decision making and bridging communities with local governments across cities and towns, innovative solutions are being implemented using digital tools in all sectors. India is already a digital first trajectory with one of the highest volumes of digital transactions in the world.
The minister also lauded the United Nations for holding such a session.
This is indeed the most appropriate time to come together for all of us and to strengthen the international cooperation to prevent and combat corruption. I welcome, therefore, the United Nations initiative to hold this special session of the General Assembly to give a worldwide political impetus to effectively address challenges and implement anti-corruption measures.
Some international news now. At least 30 people have been killed and 50 others injured after 2 trains collided in Pakistan's southern Sindh province this morning. According to the state media, Sir Saeed Express en route Karachi from Lahore collided with the Millat Express. Bogies of the Millat Express overturned in the accident that occurred near Dharki, a city located in the Ghotki district of Upper Sindh. Officials were also facing difficulty in rescuing the people trapped inside the overturned bogies. 13 to 14 bogies derailed in the accident. 6 to 8 were completely destroyed. A relief train departed from Rohari. Rescue and relief officials rushed to the spot. In Yemen, at least 21 people were killed in a massive explosion in central Yemen. This happened this morning. The Prime Minister, Ma'in Abdul Malik Saeed, said that the explosion in the central city of Marib was the result of a missile and a drone attack by Houthi rebels. The health and information ministers in the internationally recognized Yemeni government, they have also blamed the Houthis for the attack. Earlier on Saturday, a total of 16 people were killed in a ballistic missile attack launched by Houthi rebels against Yemen's oil-rich province of Marib. A recent UN-brokered negotiation between Yemen's warring sides and other relevant parties failed to produce any agreement on ceasefire. The country has been mired in more than 6 years of civil war between the Saudi-backed government and the Iran-supported Houthis. An update from Israel. Well, in Israel, at a press conference on Sunday evening, the Change Bloc's Prime Minister-designate Naftali Bennett urged the Senate Speaker to convene the election on Wednesday to vote for a new government. vote on the new government. And he also appealed for a calmer discourse, also beseeching the current Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to let go and not to leave a scorched earth behind him. Earlier, Netanyahu had said that the newly formed Israeli coalition was the result of the greatest election fraud in the history of democracy. Netanyahu made his sweeping accusation at the time when Israel's domestic security chief warned publicly about the prospect of political violence and focused his allegation on a campaign promise from Bennett. Netanyahu's tenure has been clouded by an ongoing corruption trial in which he has denied any wrongdoing, although he has won praise at home and abroad for Israel's quick rollout of COVID-19 vaccinations. And in the French Open, the Indian tennis player Rohan Bopanna and his Croatian partner Franco Skugor, they will play the men doubles quarter-final match today. So Bopanna and Skugor, they progressed through to the quarterfinals after getting a walkover in the round of 16. The Indo-Croatian pair will face the Spanish pair of Pablo Andujar and Pedro Martinez in the quarterfinals. And with that, we conclude this news bulletin. Thank you for your time and company. Namaskar.